Match 1 saw England women's playing Scotland. Scotland came out and didn't show any fear for the higher ranked England, really battling for every ball and making this a really even contest straight off the bat. England opened the scoring with a driving run from a turnover. A cutting pass found Peel unmarked on the penalty spot, who quickly moved the ball and slid it under the advancing goalkeeper. England got a second in quarter 2, another midfield turnover, this time a powerful run by Howard into the D, striking the ball on her reverse across goal for a tap-in for Walker on the back post. Scotland dominated possession in the early going of the second half, Toman being forced to pull out an amazing one-handed save on the goal line to keep the score at 2-0. England also charged down a Scotland penalty corner, and the clearance led to an amazing 2v2 at the back, which produced a fantastic save by the Scottish goalkeeper. England were finally able to add a third, this time from a penalty corner routine. Both teams continued to create chances, but no further goals were scored. The game finished up 3-0 to England. Game 2 saw Spain taking on Belgium in the women's competition. Now, this was a fiery game with both teams looking to assert themselves as top of the group. Both teams created a lot of early chances, but neither were able to take them until Spain took the lead after a driving run down the right-hand side was fired across the goal and a deflection at the near post put it into the top corner. Belgium then fought back and were able to level things up before half-time with a penalty corner. But after the break, it was Spain who managed to retake the lead, attacking the right-hand side of the D, firing the ball across. The ball was half saved, but the Spanish defender reacted quickest to tap the ball into the goal. Belgium then began to pile on the pressure again, but were unable to find a clear chance. But that pressure did eventually pay off, as a stick tackle in the circle saw them award with a penalty stroke in the final quarter, and they passed it home to make the game 2-2. They continued to apply pressure, but they couldn't convert, so the game finished 2-2. Match 3 saw England taking on Germany. Now, this started off very cagey, with the German side sitting back in a half-court press and allowing England to have possession within their back line. Both teams defended very well, limiting the opposition to only a handful of chances throughout the first half. Germany had the better of the chances, having a string of penalty corners, but unable to convert, so it stayed 0-0 at half-time. The roles swapped in the second half, as England had to absorb a great deal of pressure from the Germans, Mazzarello pulling out a string of really good saves to keep his side in it. It was actually England who opened the scoring in quarter 3. A breakout from the back found Gaul at top D unmarked. He cut the ball onto his reverse and absolutely launched a rocketing tomahawk into the roof of the net, beating the goalkeeper. Germany continued to pile on the pressure in the fourth quarter, winning more penalty corners, and that's where they eventually got the goal, as Payet was able to find a defensive deflection, wrong-footing Mazzarello and sending the ball into the back of the net. England had to absorb more pressure as Germany tried to come back into the game as they had done earlier in the tournament against France, but England were able to hold their own and the game finished 1-1. The fourth game saw Belgium taking on the Netherlands. Now, this was a fierce game with both sides going end-to-end creating chances. Netherlands opened the scoring, a good save off a second phase penalty corner, unfortunately broke to Peters on the post, who reacted quickly to tap the ball past the diving goalkeeper. Belgium equalised very early in quarter 2, attacking down the right-hand side, firing the ball across the goal. An unfortunate defensive touch lifted it past the goalkeeper, but it was Onana who reacted quickest, volleying the ball out of the air into the roof of the net. Netherlands retook the lead just before half-time, a wayward tackle in the circle leading to a penalty stroke, which was calmly dispatched by Janssen. Belgium equalised in the third quarter. A quick free hit taken across the top of the circle was deflected goalwards and then smashed into the bottom corner, first time by Helene. Both teams created chances, but it was the Netherlands who retook the lead. A quick breakout from the back, down the right-hand side, created a Dutch overload. The ball was then switched across the left-hand side of the pitch where they found Peters completely unmarked. He was able to drive the ball into the D, shaped up to hit the ball across goal before changing his mind and absolutely nailing it in at the near post to give his side the lead again. Netherlands secured the result with a second penalty stroke, this time for a Belgian player going to ground in the circle, impeding the Dutch forward. Again, it was Janssen stepping up and calmly dispatching the ball into the roof of the net to give his side the 4-2 lead and the win. The final game of the day saw Spain taking on Austria. Spain set off at a sprint, scoring within the first 40 seconds. A quick free hit taken in the 23 was carried into the circle. No one closed him down, so he just switched the ball onto his reverse and fired it home. Spain added a second shortly after. A high turnover allowed them to carry the ball into the circle, passing it into the near post where a player absolutely smashed it into the roof of the net. Spain added a third before the end of the first quarter. Driving the ball down the right, they worked the ball to the baseline, played the ball back into the area in front of goal. The shot was deflected off a defender's foot, taking it past the goalkeeper, but a Spanish forward on the back post was able to tap it home to take a 3-0 lead into the quarter-time break. Austria defended really well, absorbing a great deal of pressure in the second quarter, but unfortunately the Spanish came out in the second half ready to go, scoring again within the first couple of minutes, this time firing the ball across the D from the left, finding a deflection in front of goal to put it past the goalkeeper, and a 4-0 lead. Spain added a fifth with a ball to an unmarked player on the penalty spot who finished with an upright reverse. They added a sixth just before the end of the third quarter with a ball fired across from the right, deflected round the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. Sadly for Austria, the seventh came within 30 seconds of the restart of the final quarter. The ball played into the circle and then slapped home. Spain added an eighth after some fantastic 3D skills in the circle. The ball dropped to a teammate who hit an upright reverse from top D, a cross goal into the opposite bottom corner. They were able to add a ninth from a high turnover, leading to a free player running into D and hitting a reverse stick at close range, and then a 10th from a penalty corner before the final whistle.